Okay, let's open with a word of prayer. Thank you, Lord, for this wonderful day, and I want to thank you for the nice day we have today, and I want to thank you for the good breakfast we had, and I want to pray open everybody's minds, and pray give me the words to speak, and in Yeshua's name, amen. Okay, so this morning I'm going to do a Bible story, so I'd like all the children to come up. I'm going to be reading in Judges 6, so whoever wants to turn to their Bibles to there, they can. So, how many of you know the story of Gideon? Anybody? Okay, well, I guess we're going to learn about it. Okay, and the children of Israel did evil in the sight of the Lord, and the Lord delivered them into the hand of Midian 7 years. And the hand of Midian prevailed against Israel, and became of the Midianites, and the children of Israel made them the dens which are in the mountains, and the caves, and the strongholds. So that means they had to hide in the caves and stuff in the woods. That's been pretty bad, huh? And so it was when Israel had sown that the Midians came, and the Amalekites, and the children of the east, even came up against them, and they encamped against them and destroyed the increase of the earth. So whenever they planted crops, they would go and harvest them for them. So when they planted a field, they would go and pick everything off of there, so they didn't get anything. Okay. And there was no substance for Israel, neither sheep, nor ox, nor ass. For they came up with their cattle and their tents, and they came like grasshoppers for multitude. For both they and their camels were without number. And they entered into the land and destroyed it. And Israel was greatly impoverished because of the Midianites. And the children of Israel cried unto the Lord. And it came to pass, when the children of Israel cried unto the Lord because of Midianites, the Lord sent a prophet unto the children of Israel, which said unto them, Thus saith the Lord, Yahweh of Israel, I brought you up from Egypt, and I brought you forth out of the house of bondage. I delivered you out of the hand of the Egyptians, and out of the hand of all that oppressed you, and drave them out from before you, and gave you their land. And I said unto you, I am the Lord your God. Fear not the gods of the Ammonites, for those lands which dwell. But ye have not obeyed my voice. And there came an angel of the Lord, and sat under an oak tree, which was in Orph, that pertaineth unto Joash, the Abazarite, and his son Gideon threshed wheat by the winepress to hide it from the Midianites. So he had to thresh his grain out in hiding so the Midianites wouldn't steal it. And the angel of Yahweh appeared unto him, and said unto him, The Lord is with thee, thou mighty man of valor. And Gideon said unto them, O my Lord, if the Lord be with us, why is this befallen us? And where be his miracles, which our fathers told us, saying, Did not the Lord bring us from Egypt? But now the Lord hath forsaken us, and delivered us into the hand of Midianites. And the Lord looked upon him, and said, Go in this thy might, and thou shalt save Israel from the hand of the Midianites. I have not sent thee, he said unto him. O my Lord, wherewith shall I save is Israel? Behold, my family is poor in Manasseh, and I am the least in my father's house. And the Lord said unto him, Surely I will be with thee, and shalt smite the Midianites as one man. And he said unto him, If I have found grace in thy sight, then show me a sign that how thou talkest with me. Depart not hence, I pray thee, and I will come unto thee, and bring forth my present, and set it before thee. And he said, I will tarry until thou comest again. And Gideon went in and made ready a kid, and unleavened cakes, and an ephah of flour and flesh, and put it in a basket, and brought it the broth in a pot, and brought it unto him under the oak, and presented it. And the angel of Yahweh said unto him, Take the flesh and the unleavened cakes, and lay them on the rock, and pour out the broth. And he did so. And the angel of Yahweh put forth the end of his staff that was in his hand, and touched the flesh and the unleavened cakes, and there rose fire out of the rock, and consumed the flesh and the unleavened cakes. Have any of you ever seen that happen? Burning rock. Then the angel of the Lord departed out of his sight. And when Gideon perceived that it was an angel, he said, Alas, for because I have seen an angel of the Lord face to face. And the Lord said unto him, Peace be unto thee, fear not, thou shalt not die. Then Gideon built an altar there unto the Lord, and called the place Jehareth unto this day. It is yet in Orph of the Abiezrites. And it came to pass the same night that the Lord said unto him, Take thy father's young bullock, even the second bullock, of 7 years old, and throw down the altar of Baal that is in that thy father hath, and cut down the grove that is by it, and build an altar unto the Lord thy God upon the top of this rock, in the ordained place, and take the bullock, and offer a burnt sacrifice with the wood of the grove, which thou shalt cut down. Then Gideon took 10 men of his servants, and did as the Lord hath said unto him. And so it was, because he feared his father's household, and the men of the city, that he could not do it by day, so that he did it by night. Then when the men of the city arose early in the morning, behold, the altar of Baal was cast down, and the grove was cut down, and that was by it that the second bullock was offered upon the altar that was built. And they said one to another, Who hath done this thing? And which hath inquired and asked? And they said, Gideon the son of Joash hath done this thing. And the men of the city said unto Joash, Bring out thy son, that he may die, because he hath cast down the altar of Baal, and because he hath cut down the grove that was by it. And Joash said unto all that stood against him, Will ye plead for Baal? Will he not save him that hath pleaded for him? Let him be put to death while he is yet mourning. But if he be a god, let him plead for himself, because one hath cast down his altar. Therefore on the day he called him Jerubbaal, saying, Let Baal plead against him, because he hath thrown down his altar. Then all the Midianites and the Amalekites and the children of the east were gathered together, and they went over and pitched in the valley of Jezreel. But the Spirit of the Lord came upon Gideon, and he blew on a trumpet. At Abiezer was gathered after him, and he sent messengers throughout all Manasseh, who also hath gathered after him. And he sent messengers unto Asher, and unto Zebulun, and unto Nematha. And they came up to meet him. And Gideon said unto Yahweh, If thou wilt save Israel by my hand, as thou hast said, behold, I will put a fleece of wool on the floor, and if the dew be on the fleece only, and it be dry upon the earth beside, then shall I know that thou wilt save Israel by my hand, as thou hast said. And it was so. For he rose up early in the morning, and thrust the fleece together, and wringed out the dew out of it, and it filled a bowl full of water.
Wow.
And Gideon said unto the Lord, Let not thine anger be hot against me. I will speak but this once. Let me prove, I pray thee. But this only with the fleece let it now be dry upon. And the fleece, and upon all the ground let there be dew. And the Lord did so that night, for it was dry upon the fleece only, but there is dew on all the ground. Then Jubal, who was Gideon, and all the people that were with him, rose up early and pitched beside the wall of Herod, so that the host of Midianites were on the north side of them, by the hill of Morah, in the valley. And the Lord spake unto Gideon, The people that are with thee are too many for me to give the Midianites into their hands, lest Israel be vaunt themselves against me, saying, Mine own hand hath saved me. So do you guys know what that meant? It means that there was too many of them, and they would, after they conquered them, they would say, oh, we did that by our own hand. So he said there's too many, so he wanted less of them. So they would say, it wasn't us that did it, it was Yahweh. Now therefore go to proclaim in the ears of people, saying, Whosoever is fearful and afraid, let him return and depart early for the Mount of Gilad. And there returned of the people 22,000, and there remained 10,000. And the Lord said unto Gideon, The people are yet too many. Bring them down to water, and I will try them for thee there. And it shall be that who I say unto thee, this shall go with thee, and the same shall go with thee. And whomsoever I say unto thee, this shall not go with thee, and the same shall not go. So he brought down the people unto the water, and the Lord said unto Gideon, Every one that lappeth the water with his tongue, as a dog lappeth, him shalt thou set by himself. Likewise, every one that boweth down upon his knees to drink. And the number of them that lapped, putting their hand to their mouth, were 300 men. But all the rest of the people bowed down upon their knees to drink water. And the Lord said unto Gideon, By the 300 men that lappeth will I save you, and deliver the Midianites into thine hand. And let all the other people go every man unto his own place. So the people took victuals in their hands and their trumpets. And he sent the rest of Israel every man unto his tent, and returned those 300 men. And the host of Midian beneath him in the valley. And it came to pass the same night the Lord said unto him, Arise, get thee down unto the host, for I have delivered it into thine hand. But if thou fear, go down with Phurah thy servant down to the host, and thou shalt hear what they say, and afterwards thou shalt thine hands be strengthened to go down up unto the host. Then went he down with Phurah his servant unto the outside of the armed men that were in the host. And the Midianites and the Amalekites and the children of the east lay along in the valley, like grasshoppers for multitude. So he was going to lead 300 men to a whole bunch that were as numerous as grasshoppers. It's quite a lot, huh? For a multitude, and their camels were without number, as the sand of the sea side for multitude. That's quite a lot. And then Gideon was come. Behold, there was a man that told a dream unto his fellow, and said, Behold, I dreamed a dream, and that, lo, a cake of barley bread tumbled unto the host of Midian, and came unto a tent, and smote it, that it fell and overturned, and that the tent lay along. And his fellow answered and said, This is nothing else to save the sword of Gideon, and the son of Joash, a man of Israel. For unto his hand hath Yahweh delivered Midian and all the host. So they knew it. They knew that those 300 men were going to conquer him. And it was so, when Gideon heard the telling of the dream and the interpretation thereof, that he worshipped and returned unto the host of Israel, and said, Arise, for the Lord hath delivered unto your hand the host of Midian. And he delivered the 300 men into 3 companies. And he put a trumpet in every man's hand, with empty pitchers and lamps within the pitchers. So he held lamps, and they put pitchers over him so they could sneak up. And he said unto them, Look on me, and do likewise. Behold, when I am come to the outside of the camp, it shall be that as I do so, ye shall do. When I blow with a trumpet, and all that are with me, then blow ye on the trumpets also, on every side of the camp, and say, The sword of the Lord and of Gideon. So Gideon and the 100 men that were with him camped outside of the camp in the beginning of the middle watch. And they had but newly set the watch, and they blew on the trumpets and broke the pitchers that were in their hands. So they blew on the trumpet, and then they broke the pitchers, so they all had lights. They were all around the camp. And the 3 companies blew on the in the right hands, and bloweth, and all cried, The sword of the Lord and of Gideon. And they stood every man in his place round the camp, and all the host ran and cried and fled. And the 300 blew the trumpets, and the Lord set every man's sword against his fellow, even throughout all the host. And the hosts fled to Bethsaida and Zareth, in the border of Abilah, or something like that, unto Tabitha. So they got confused, and they started fighting every man in their army. So they killed one another. So all Gideon had to do was stand on the hillside and watch them win the battle for him. And Gideon sent messengers throughout all the mount Ephraim, saying, Come down against the Midianites, and take before them on the waters unto Bereth Jordan. And all the men of Ephraim gathered themselves together, and took the waters unto Bereth and Jordan. They took 2 princes of the Midianites, Oreb and Zeph. And Oreb and Zeph they slew at the winepress. And Zeph they pursued into Midian, and brought the heads of Oreb and Zeph unto Gideon on the other side of Jordan. So that's a pretty amazing story, yeah.
That was full of miracles, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yahweh built their faith with that dream that he had, and then they said, they believed they had faith. They said, he has to have faith. Before he had it, they had that faith.
Yep. Okay, well, that's all I had, so I guess I'll turn it over to Bethany.